obviously I thought it was a great close at 50-50. From that point on, I thought our defense got really stingy, and I've been waiting to see that in the guts of the game. I was really happy with that. I thought that we defended the three late in the game once it got to 50-50 well. You look at the stat sheet, obviously you still see that, you know, we got to be better there. I mean, they went 11 for 24. Our guys know that. We let them get some off early, and then once we kind of made some adjustments there late, we got pretty stingy. I thought our defense was good late. I thought these two were really good offensively. Obviously, you look at the stat sheet, they were both very, very efficient. They were both aggressive and found a good balance of doing what they do within what our offense is supposed to do, which I thought was huge. I thought both of them really defended well also. And, you know, our team defense was really good late. I thought Jordan's minutes were huge. You know, there's not very many young guys that would be able to not play in a game and then play 2 minutes and then do what he's done here in the last 4 or 5, come in that ready, play 17 minutes, help us rebound, defend, make key free throws. And it's a great example of, you know, what happens when you have a great attitude. And, you know, I notice him during games, all he cares about is he's up all the time when guys make plays, and even in games where he didn't play, and that's pretty rare for someone his age to do that. So I was really happy for him. I thought he made some big plays for us. You know, I thought that we had some guys, we played all the young guys today, and I thought they did a good job, and we needed all of them. You know, LaRon, you know, obviously I love that kid. There's a lot of guys that would not have played today. Let me just put, I mean, a lot of guys that would not have played today. And, you know, he wants to win. He cares about his teammates. And I know Schmidt's working really hard to get him back to where we're all used to seeing him. And I know he wants to get back as quickly as possible to the real LaRon Black. But today, thank goodness, he was at least available and was able to offer some minutes up front that we desperately needed. And so I really appreciate that from him as well. But all in all, a good win. I'm happy for the guys. You know, obviously they've been through a lot. It's great for them to experience some success. They'll get the day off tomorrow. You know, these guys will tell you they're probably looking forward to not seeing me. We've seen each other for about 15 to 20 straight days here because of some travel issue that we had last weekend. And so I'm anxious for them to get away, you know, tomorrow. It's been a heck of a grind from November 1 till now with all the travel. But get a chance to rest tomorrow. I always tell them to eat, sleep, hydrate, and study. And I'm sure they'll get all that done tomorrow, especially the studying, right, Ken and Michael? And they'll get all that done tomorrow, and then we'll come in on Monday and prepare for a really good Yale team. The staff kind of, you know, bump me on the shoulder because they know I don't like to talk about the other opponent until our game's over. But they would tell me how good they are and how talented they are and how old they are. And you know, very similar to a couple of teams we play here early in the season that have a bunch of juniors and seniors that, you know, can win their league, you know, right there with Harvard to win their league, and 20 to 25 projection wins, and they're good. And it's going to be a great challenge, and we'll have to have maturity in our preparation, and we'll have to be really, really connected and play as a team and play very, very well on Wednesday night against a really good Yale team. Questions for the players?
Michael, what's it like to the Orange Crush chanting your name, things like that? I mean, in your first couple, you know, first month here.
It's fun. I mean, obviously grew up in Champaign. Wanted to go here, dream come true. Be able to play for your state school and your hometown school. I mean, it means a lot. But in the end, I'm just glad we got a win out there and able to get back on track.
Kendrick, obviously no rap on your hands today. You look really explosive, really quick out there. I know it's been 4 games, but how badly were you itching to get on the floor prior to that UAB game?
Yeah, I was pretty much quote unquote thirsty to get on the court, but y'all probably didn't see the rap, but it was black tape today. It wasn't really white, so it was not noticeable.
I did promise him I'd get him more blows today, and so he only played 36 minutes. So, I'm sorry, Ken.
Michael, even the Western Carolina coach said he didn't really, you know, think this was didn't expect this out of you. Just what can you just talk about your game today and what maybe openings you saw and you know, how you were able to be so successful?
Yeah. Well, first and foremost, my teammates found me when I was open. I mean, that was a big thing. It just gave me confidence from right out of the gate. So I was able to we run those pick and pops. I mean, I was open on them, and I wasn't hesitating and pulling it from the get-go. So I mean, I had confidence in my shot and just carried over through the whole game.
Kendrick, Coach just talked about needing leadership, needing you and Malcolm to push forward. How have you grown, and how have you tried to take, you know, a leadership role, especially the last couple of games?
I've learned a lot, you know, observing and from sitting out, observing our team and playing, getting back. And the leadership role, it's a big challenge, you know, just getting guys to match my energy level and get guys to tag along with me.
Kendrick, you kind of had a tough shooting night, you know, Wednesday, but you come in, you know, today off the bench and hit that first three right away. Did that kind of help you get going, offensively at least?
Of course, you know, last shooting night Wednesday, as you would say, coming out tonight, you know, being a scorer, I don't think about things like that. I just keep playing.
Any other questions for the players?
Kendrick, I think it was on the radio where your coach said it was after, and maybe you said it here, sorry, but 50-50 and you guys buckled down, and what did you see kind of change or the mindset at that point through the final stretch of the game?
It was just about getting stops, you know. Offensively, I think we're a pretty good team, and how teams get in the game with us, just we letting them score, getting threes and things like that. So it was just a mindset on the defensive side of getting stops.
Could you guys kind of, to build off of that, you know, how did you guys get those stops in the last minutes? You know, what are some things you think you did well defensively?
I think it started off with our point guard. You see, coming out, we kind of slapped the ground and brought energy together. We was talking to each other, you know, and just toughing it out.
Anything else for the players? Okay. Thank you, guys.
Questions?
John, question about Aaron. He played some meaningful minutes for you there. Has he done some things to earn your trust a little bit more? Is he making some progress?
No question, you know, he has. He's gotten a lot better, whether it's, you know, his efforts to watch film or his habits are getting better. He cares. But I just think, Tup, it all starts with his attitude. His attitude is unbelievable. It really is. I mean, he cares about other people and the team, and he's happy for other guys' success. And I think when you have a free mind like that, and you can, you know, I use Popovich's deal a lot, get over yourself, I think that's a huge thing, and that's really rare for freshmen, because it's hard. I mean, it's not easy, you know, coming in, and it's different. So I think it really starts there with him, but he's certainly gotten a lot better at both ends of the floor. I thought he was terrific today, and honestly, the thing he does best is shoot the ball, and he was 0 for 3 from 3. You know, so he found other ways to impact the game. I thought that was very, very encouraging.
John, you talked about how you talked about how the team needs to maybe get away. Malcolm, given everything that's been put on him early in the season, is it him more than anybody that kind of just needs a day of a break?
He's certainly, if you look at minutes, for sure. You know, obviously you know, Malcolm's a great kid, really good player, and we've, you know, rode him hard here early. But I think there's some other guys as well, certainly, that need to, you know, some of it when you get a day off, Jeremy, is physical, certainly. And I think some of it also is mentally, just kind of getting mentally refreshed. You know, last weekend we caught a tough break when our plane wasn't able to get there, because we were trying to get back on Saturday so they could get away from us on Sunday, and we just weren't able to do that because of you know, travel problems. But so tomorrow they get a complete day away from us.
Coach, your guys out-rebounded, right?
Yeah.
You guys out-rebounded them 33-21, and it was more of a team effort today than in past games, I feel like. Did you like what you saw on the glass tonight?
Yeah, I would agree with that. I thought it was a real key to the game. That's one of the things that Coach Hunter's teams have always done well, is attack the backboard, attack the glass. And I thought we did a great job of what we call gang rebounding. And we got contributions on the backboard from a lot of different guys. And really, you look at it, and every guy that played in the game got at least one defensive rebound. And then we had some dead ball ones as well. But just a great job on the backboard. I thought that was that, and I thought taking care of the ball would be real keys. You know, I wasn't very happy with the way we took care of it in the first half. I thought we were a little sloppy at times, but second half we were a little bit better.
And I know it doesn't matter to you, but how do you select who's going to start? I mean, you have a different lineup every game. I know Coach Barham talked in the pregame about, you know, which guys came out and gave that defensive effort at the beginning. And so how do you decide, you know, who's going to start from game to game?
Right now, you know, obviously every coach, as I said in the post-game radio deal, would like to have a set rotation. We're just not there yet. I wish we were. But today's starters were based on the defensive grade out. I thought our defense was not very good the other night in the second half, and you know, wanted to take a stance and, you know, fight for what we say we're about. And so it's nothing personal, but that's how that was determined to start the game tonight or today.
Coach, I guess defensively, you know, maybe some things you still like to see improve, but to get those stops late in the game, was that maybe a sign of you know, just getting better on that end of the court?
Sure, being tougher. You know, I think good teams, when it's 50-50, find a way to impose their will and you know, be tougher and, you know, even more focused. And I thought today, for the first time, I thought we did that. You know, maybe at least at its highest level thus far.
Yes, yeah, one more thing. You talked about playing the freshmen today, and you know, DJ got in there after not playing for a few games. You know, what did you see from him where you wanted to get him some minutes, and then, you know, once he was in there, you know, what did he do for you?
I thought, obviously he's long. We played some zone when he was in. He's really good in the zone. He's getting better defensively. He had a great practice yesterday. I thought he was really good. I thought it was the best practice that the three freshmen had collectively during their time in Illinois yesterday. So that kind of spearheaded my thought in terms of playing him today. And, you know, then obviously, you know, LB wasn't himself today. And so we needed all those minutes that those guys could give us.
Back to the starting lineup, did that include Nunn as well? Is that why he started on the bench?
It did, and it was a tough deal for him. He's so tough mentally. I mean, gee, Merry Christmas. You know, because he played 3 games. I mean, so the first 2 games in Florida, he was terrific. And he got a really bad one the other night, he'll tell you, from some habit standpoint. And when you only have 3 games of sample size, and some of the other guys had 8, you know, but that kid doesn't pout. He didn't say anything. If you ask him, he just rolls. You know, his mental toughness is at just another level. That's what I love about him. You know, if it had been based after the first 2 games he played, he'd have been near the top. You know, so I explained that to him. Looked him in the eye, man to man, and we talked about it. And I told him why I was doing it, and that we needed to make a stance and for what we're about. And you know, he's always behind me. He's the best. Shannon.
This might be like too big of a question, but just that defense down the stretch, how do you get that consistently? I know that's something obviously you're working on, but do you feel like maybe this is a clicking moment?
Yeah, I hope, Shannon. You know, the biggest thing is you have to defend threes better and make less mistakes with some of those things. Read situations better. You know, now obviously sometimes the other team doesn't cooperate and they run stuff that makes it hard to defend threes. So there's a little bit of a balance there. But you know, I was very, very encouraged with the way we closed the game on that end of the floor.
Coach back here.
Yeah.
Part of bringing Kendrick off the bench, were you hoping for a performance like this coming off the bench from him?
You know, obviously we like to have even more blend than even what we had today. But I think that was what we needed to win the basketball game today. You know, he and Finke, you know, I thought they were, you know, I didn't have, as I told the staff, I thought those guys were aggressive within what we do. I thought they took good shots, you know, maybe other than Ken's jumper at the end from the free throw line. Time and score there where we should have pulled it out. I wasn't too crazy about that one. But the other ones I liked. But yeah, those guys were really good today offensively. You know, if we say, hey, though, by the way, Ken's got to get 27 and go 9 for 14 from the field to win a game, I think that's hard, to do that night in, night out. I don't care who you are. And he's a really, really good player. So, it can be different nights for us. I agree with Kendrick in that we've got some offensive weapons. We're a little bit unique now playing Finke at 4 and 5 with some of the injuries we've had. And it's more about the other end of the floor, being more consistent down there.
John, you're talking about Kendrick and his mental toughness. Malcolm obviously didn't play the first 7.5 minutes. I know you said that's a coach's decision. Is that where you're going to see more from him?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Malcolm's a good player. He's done a lot for us. He's rebound, assists, steals, guard. I mean, he's a terrific player and terrific kid. I just thought we needed more out of him than what he gave in the first half. But he's gonna be fine. I mean, he's really good. He made some big plays for us when he got back in there. Huge shots, rebounds. I thought he did some really good things that helped us win the basketball game down the stretch.
Coach, what do you feel like clicked with Aaron today? Do you feel like this can be a baseline to build some consistency?
I hope so, Derek. We all want our freshmen to be consistent, and all of our players. But I just think for him it's about experience at this point. Honestly, he and Finke are kind of in the same boat. Experience and strength, physical strength. Those two guys, pretty smart. They pick things up quick. They play the right way. I think that you're going to see those guys continue to get better with more experience, and hopefully this was a step in the right direction for Aaron.
Coach, Finke was a little hesitant in the Notre Dame game today. Obviously, was much better. Is that a point of emphasis with you guys to let it fly if he has those shots?
No question, Alex. I was disappointed. I drew one timeout play for him the other day in the Notre Dame game. We threw it back to him, and he didn't shoot it. Wide open. Same play we ran tonight 2 or 3 times. And so I talked to him about it. I told him, I said, I really don't care if you miss it. It's a good shot. Who cares? But the fact you didn't take it, I didn't like that. So you got to take it. And tonight he was shot ready. I thought he was aggressive within what we do. He had the one floater behind the backboard in the first half. That was about the only one I was like, whoa, okay, great shot. But other than that, I thought he played within himself and what we do. And I thought obviously he did a great job of being efficient and impacting the game on the glass. And I thought he defended better too. He's getting better.
With Aaron, just the way you describe him, is he a guy, even though he's young, is he a guy players can or have gravitated toward already, or is that
It's hard not to like him, if that's your question. I mean, it's hard. He just is good, and most of the time he's the same guy, regardless of circumstance. And that's really what mental toughness is. That's why I always tell people Ken's so tough. I mean, he's tough. And Aaron's got that deal where hopefully he's learning and watching Ken in terms of his disposition and how he handles things. And I think he does. Aaron's very observant and very smart. So I do think that experience is going to be a big thing for him, and hopefully we can get him to be consistent moving forward.
Just a follow-up with Malcolm, and I guess Kendrick too, because at the beginning of the year you talked a lot about wanting them to be vocal guys. How are they doing on that, especially Malcolm?
Okay, and certainly better than they did Chin the first 2 years, but I've got a high standard for those 2 guys. I'd like more. They know that. We talk about it a lot. I want them to take ownership of the team. And, as I told them, there's a reason that their teammates voted those 2 and Tate and Abrams as captains. So they've got to take responsibility now, and help others. And the way you do that, I think, is by leading by example, of course, but it's also by leading with voice. I need both from those guys, and we're going to continue to try to get more out of them in those areas, because I think they can even give more.
You seemed a little more animated on the sidelines today. Is part of that trying to get them to come out of the shell and maybe, lead by example in the same way, be more?
No question. I'm exhausted. I'm tired. Yeah. And no question. I woke up this morning and, got up early. I got my cup of coffee, and I got a message from Richardson, and I love that kid. And I just think about him and all the guys that we've coached here and what we've stood for on that end of the floor, defensively, how we fought for who we are, that's important, and that I owe it not only to this team, I owe it to those guys. So I had a little bit different, perspective going into the game today. He was on my mind a little bit because he played the game the right way and played to win. It meant something for him to put the jersey on. Those guys are fun to coach. And I try to get those guys to understand when they play, they're representing those guys. They're representing all those guys that were here on Wednesday night for Coach Hinson's deal. Sometimes they lose, sight of that. So it's up to us to remind them of that.
Is that a text message you sent you?
I left me a message. I saw it on my desk that he had called. Yeah.
And was there any was it like a go get 'em thing, or was it just something?
Yeah, it was between me and him. Let's put it this way, he cares about defense.
Anything else for Coach? All right, thanks, John.
Thanks.
Just a reminder, our next press conference is Tuesday at noon